close
Alright,
attention.
welcome back to another video, and today I want to talk about the SH Figuarts Frieza in his second form. And this guy here, I have to say, he is absolutely crazy. I mean crazy. Let me tell you, a figure this big looking this good is phenomenal. Now Frieza has what, his first form where he's in the little flight pod. This is the second form. Then he has his third form where he looks like a xenomorph. Then he has his final form. Now I don't have his third form because, well, I just didn't pick it up. But when this one came out, I had to pick it up because, one, he looks like his father King Cold in this form. And I was like, to me, that was pretty cool because, you know, Frieza's race, like his brother Cooler and his father, they have all these different forms. And Cooler even found a stronger form past Frieza's final form. But anyway, this guy here is just, I love the way they did him. I mean, he is just beautifully done. He comes with a bunch of accessories, this guy does. He has a bunch of hands, different face plates, different head crest up here. He has a thing for where his tail gets chopped off, and he comes with a different set of feet. And if this guy doesn't look menacing to you, I don't know what. But I mean, even just a simple rigor pose right here of Frieza, he's just menacing. And I remember when Vegeta and Krillin, Piccolo, Gohan first came upon Frieza, and he was, you know, in his first form, and he changed this form. It was just like, whoa, just craziness, just craziness. So with this figure today, I want to talk about the way he looks, his articulation, and his accessories. Before we get into looking at the accessories, I do want to talk about this guy here. And yeah, I mean, look at that face sculpt. Beautiful face sculpt. Love that frown. Looks like they took him right out of the cartoon and brought him right to your table, or to your collection, I should say. Love the purple, nice and shiny on the head, along with these horns. Be careful, you know, they're hard plastic, but you know, they are pointy at the end. And you can definitely, probably, if you have Krillin, you can do that scene where he is stabbing Krillin through the abdomen, of course, you know, if you wanted to. And then you have these shoulders, nice purple. I like the light purple of his skin. And then coming down here, now he has all these lines, and look, in the cartoon or anime, you know, all these lines are black, and I understand why they didn't do every one of them, because yeah, that would be painstaking to do. But yet, if you wanted to customize your own, I would say get like a fine point pen or brush pen, and you can do it yourself. Me, I'm gonna leave him the way that he is, because you know, he's an expensive boy, and I'm not doing that whatsoever, even though I could. Even the lines on the tail, there's not a whole lot of wash on there. There is some, I don't know if it's coming through on the camera, but anyway, yeah, he's a big boy all the way down to his feet. Beautiful paint, beautiful looking figure. Yeah, as far as the tail, which I'll show off, it detaches at this part here, so you can have it to where it had gotten cut off by the Destructo Disc that Krillin threw at him. So yeah, he's got a bunch of different options that you can do, which is really neat. So without any further ado, let's get in and take a look at this guy's articulation. Let's just roll right into it. So he can look down that far. I mean, if he's standing, literally just standing, and there's somebody in front of him, he can look straight down at him. He can look up. I mean, that's pretty good. He can look up pretty far. His head could turn side to side, and he definitely has, you know, some wiggly waggly in the head there, going bobble-headed side to side. His shoulders, I like the way they actually made the armor move up. The armor moving up like this is great because it gets out of the way of the articulation of moving his hands. He has a butterfly joint inside here, which comes out, which is actually really deep, and it's nice the way they did this, right? So they turn his arm like this. You can see where it disconnects, but look at the shoulder back here where it moves. I mean, it is a figure, so you're gonna only have so much, and with SH Figuarts, you know, that's kind of what, you know, what you're dealing with when it comes to the articulation of these figures, the way they've engineered them. You have his bicep swivel, and he does have double jointed elbows, which are only going to go, I mean, that's not too bad considering he has this big old bicep and the muscle of the forearm right here. I mean, that's great. I mean, the muscle structure on this guy is just phenomenal. Then he has his wrist swivel, and then of course they can bend up and down or side to side depending on how you spin that peg that's in there when you put that, you know, the hand on there. Now moving down to the torso, he has upper torso movement here, and he has great ab crunch. Could be a little deeper, but he is a big boy, so I mean, you know, when you bring his leg up, that's gonna make up for it right there. Maybe just a little bit deeper. This upper part does move, see? So not this purple thing doesn't move out of the way, but this does move. So you do have that extra oomph you can give him. So there we go. Actually, I got him to go a little deeper, which is not too bad. He can kick forward this far. And before I forget, yes, he does have some waist swivel. He can kick forward this far. He has swivel here at the upper thigh. He has his double jointed knees, and then he has his ankle articulation, which his foot can move down that far, which is really good. Move forward, and then of course you have the tilt, and yes, they do swivel side to side with this guy. I mean, and the tail itself is articulated, so you have the ball joint. Before I get ahead of myself, let me not forget about his tail. Now the tail is big, it's bulky, it's heavy, so when you are posing him, right, you want to make sure that you get him balanced out. But he reminds me of like Cooler. All right, when I did my review on Cooler, I mean, he reminds me of the way you could pose him. Let's get the, you know, the tail is what's gonna hinder you, but he reminds me of the way Cooler just would fall into place when you wanted to pose him. And this guy does the same. He does the same, and you guys all know I suck at doing this on camera, and I don't want to get ahead of myself because I want to show off his other accessories that he comes with in this review. But I mean, you want to put Frieza in a pose where he's ready to box. I mean, I just did that like no problem whatsoever, none. You want him throwing a kick, right? Where he's throwing a kick. You want to move the tail out of the way, give that tail that long articulation. You can do so, and I mean, you know, because we all know in Dragon Ball Z, they never keep their hands up. They always kind of do these power kicks where they're going all kind of crazy and stuff like that. I mean, they're launching people into the stratosphere, knocking them through mountains and everything when they haul off and kick somebody, and we all know that. But yeah, I mean, that's a cool pose right there. Now, like I said, you're only going to get him to go only so deep. So yeah, I mean, but still, I think that's great. I mean, the engineering of this guy is just phenomenal. Can you get him to do let's see, I don't want to say like a superhero landing, but you know, that pose where he's on one knee, he's kind of reaching down at the ground, got his arm here. Now I know this is the wrong hand to have on him at this moment in time as far as I'm doing this, but like, there's another cool pose. Like, I left his tail out long, you know, stretched out behind him. Yeah, I mean, you can, even if he was just, you don't have to have his hands straight down like he's doing a superhero landing, but let's just say, trying to think, I don't know, that's kind of, you know, I'm thinking more of him putting his hand flat on to the ground, and I don't have the other hand, so I mean, I'll show that off a little later maybe, on him, but there you go. I mean, that's really good. I mean, he just falls right in there. And you just want to move this down, of course, because, you know, this is made to get out of the way of the articulation, which I like. Yeah, I mean, he's really cool. Really, really cool. All right, so I've wasted like 10 minutes of this review so far, so hopefully you guys are still with me on this. I do want to show off his other things as far as his other hand sculpts, his face sculpts, and his head face sculpts, and his other head sculpt that he comes with. That way you guys can see what they look like on him. And he does come with a 4-star Dragon Ball. So if you don't have any Dragon Balls, and they're not the regular little Dragon Balls from Earth, they are the Namekian Dragon Balls. So yeah, you're gonna get one of those with this guy, like you did with Frieza and his flight pod and the Ginyu Force. So yeah, if you're looking to get all 7 of those and you don't have any, well, you're gonna get one with this guy, and it's gonna be the 4-star. So yeah, I mean, Frieza is just, he's just menacing, this guy. I mean, just crazy. But yeah, and they changed the way that they did the Dragon Balls. I can tell you that much. The ones that came with Frieza and his flight pod, and the one that came with the Ginyu Force, they are really clear, almost like a glass, which is really nice. This one here is more of a cloudy looking Dragon Ball. So does that bother me any? No, but they should have just kept them all the same way, because the Namekian Dragon Balls, you started them off a certain way and then you changed them. Now, they might have changed them because of the fact that maybe people were having issues with them. They were breaking, they would fall and crack and whatever. They were just too fragile. I don't know, but I know I don't have an issue with mine. Mine look great. I just wish they would have kept the same aesthetic when it comes to those Dragon Balls. But anyway, I've rambled enough, guys, so I apologize. So let's get into taking a look at Frieza with his other accessories, and I'll try to make that pretty quick because I know we're kind of getting long in the tooth on this, and I'll show him off in some comparisons with some other figures that I have out, and see how he actually stacks up against the other SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z figures. I'll get a couple of those out, like Frieza and so on and so forth. In his final form, I should say, not just Frieza. But yeah, anyway, I digress. Let's get in and take a look at this guy's other accessories. All right, so here is the 4-star Dragon Ball, and I just want to see how it's just like a cloudy Dragon Ball, while the other ones were really clear and just crazy looking. But this isn't bad. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying that they changed the way they made these Dragon Balls. And so yeah, but anyway, this is the Namekian 4-star Dragon Ball.
You're in for it now. My second form makes the one you're familiar with look as gentle as a sleeping kitten.
Can't be real, it's got to be some kind of trick.
Foolish prince, feast your eyes.
All right, guys, so I hopefully you guys got a good look at the different head sculpts that this guy comes with, the different set of hands, and the alternate feet that he comes with. Also with the difference with the tail being full and the tail being cut off, which I have left here, and then I left the final face that's on him. So with that being said, guys, let's get into some comparisons. I only have a couple figures out here to compare him to, so let's get into that and let's end this review. Now here's how he compares to the Masters of the Universe New Eternia's Ram Man, and the only reason why I wanted to show him off with these figures is because you can see how big of a boy Frieza in his second form actually is, and how you can actually fit him into other lines that are this size, which is amazing. And here's how he compares to Imagine Toys 1/9 scale Goku, and as you can see, he fits in that scale very well with him also. And here's how he compares to the SH Figuarts Frieza in his final form, and you can actually see how small Frieza actually is compared to his second form, which is crazy. So I mean, his first form, which is even smaller, or close to the same size as this, it's just crazy. So yeah, it just goes to show how big this second form truly is. Okay guys, so now that you've seen all the comparisons, you've seen everything that this guy comes with, I hope you really enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit long, but when you're talking about a character like Frieza in his second form, there's a lot that, you know, you have to go over when it comes to a figure this good. Now, like I said, his brother Cooler, he was that made this well. And I mean, let me tell you something, posing him in the poses, getting him to, it's like butter. It's easy to do. That's the way Cooler was. This is the way this Frieza is. I mean, fabulous. I mean, just fabulous. I can't say good enough things about it. Now, not every single SH Figuarts figure moves the way this guy does, or the way Cooler does, or some of the other figures that I have, but they all have beautiful sculpts, and they all, if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, they are all worth picking up, except for, you know, maybe some here's and there's, depending on what you're trying to do, how you're trying to get them into poses. Some of them are pretty expensive as well, so it all depends on what you want to do. This guy here, he was pretty expensive, but I had to get him because this was one of my favorite forms that Frieza had before he went into his final form, and so which therefore I had to pick him up, because this is the same look that his father has, it's the same look that he has. And I mean, they could do a King Cold now that they have this mold, same look, just a few different little accessories, maybe a little bit different color, and then you have King Cold. I mean, fabulous, which we'll probably see in the future. Hopefully we will. If we do, I'll probably pick up King Cold also, just because it's Frieza's father. I wish they would do a King Vegeta as well, but we'll see in the future if SH Figuarts is listening. Hopefully they will. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch these videos, even when they get a little long, this, you know, like this one did. But I do apologize because of the fact that there was just so much to show off, so much to go over, and I just wanted you guys to see it all. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment down below. Never miss out on, hit that notification bell so you never miss out on anything new that we're putting up. I'm getting ahead of myself. And yeah, catch you on Flippy Flip.